Hey folks, Brian here, back again on Tuesday, April 23, 2024. So I've been trying to get this video out for quite a while. That last earthquake we had prompted me to get going on it. So in the province of British Columbia, Western Canada, we have an extensive volcanic ranges, locations, belts, at least 199 known ones. So when we're talking about safe locations, we're not just talking about get off the coast. And I've been saying this for quite a while. Know your volcanic areas. So I'm going to show you just some. So starting in the top northwest corner where there's not too much population living up there, there's a Stickney volcanic belt. Just above it, shared with Alaska, we have the Wrangell volcanic belt. In the middle, starting from the coast, we have the Anaheim belt. Southeast British Columbia, which includes Vancouver, we have the Garibaldi volcanic belt. Further inland, we have the Wells Gray Clearwater volcanic field. There are many other areas as well, such as my area here in the Okanagan. So let's start our tour, shall we? So there are a great many. I'm just going to show you maybe a couple of dozen. I'm going to start off with the Volcano, or Lava Fork Provincial Park. This one here called the Volcano for obvious reasons here. You see the old lava flows. A lot of these volcanoes I'm showing you are very, very recent, as in 250 years ago for one area. Before I take you on to the next one, let's just do a quick look and see what else is around here. Obviously, we had some lava flow coming down here. Let's continue. Next, we have Harts Peak, northwest British Columbia. Let's take a look around. And some areas of the provinces are quite literally just littered with volcanic features. Some old lava flows. Let's move along. Level Mountain. Now this is listed as a volcano. An obvious sulfur. You see here. kind of pixeled out like they don't want us to see what's going on here. Let's take a look at the surrounding areas. Let's continue. Next, spectrum range. This one's listed as a volcano. And there are a whole bunch of miscellaneous cinder cones, lava domes throughout this area. Let's move along. Actually, let's move along. CX cone. So this last eruption, it was only 250 years ago. 2,000 indigenous people were lost their lives here at that eruption. Just to the north, we have Mount Priestley, major volcanic eruption 400 years ago, which happens to have been during the Monger minimum, the last grand solar minimum, Mount Priestley. Okay, now we're going down to the Nanaimo volcanic belt. This is the Silver Throne caldera, listed as still active, people. Oh, tip end of Vancouver Island. And you know what? I've lost it. One moment. Okay. I do specifically remember last year there were a series of earthquakes right here. Oh yeah. There were earthquakes and or heat detections. So when people look at the Cascadia Range and the mountain range in British Columbia and they see all the pretty snow-covered mountains, folks, they're not just mountains. They are volcanoes, volcanic areas. Look at all that. Let's move along then. Here we have the SATA Mountain volcanic field. This is the Nanaimo volcanic belt, right in here. All these volcanic features here. Mount Downtown is also listed as a volcano. This is listed as a volcano. Moving along. Moving closer to Vancouver, we have Devastator Peak. Oh, wow. We did have one moment. Devastator Peak, a volcano. Close by, we have Mount Monger, which is on the outskirts of Pemberton. Which has been outgassing. Which I've lost. Since we're down here, folks, 70 kilometers from Vancouver proper, we have the Garibaldi Volcanic Complex. Volcano. Let's start from the bottom. So we have one called the Table. Guard Mountain, Castle Towers, Volcano, Cinder Cone. I like this one, Black Tusk. Clinker Peak, another one listed, Volcano. Next to it. All right. Mount Cayley, which is on the edge of the Garibaldi complex. Mount Cayley is a volcano and people. Pyroclastic Peak. Last summer, there were a series of heat detections on the bottom of this mountain. below Vulcan's thumb with fires. There's an active hot springs down at the bottom. Let's continue. In the middle of the province, Nadina Mountain is one of my favorites. It's actually 2 or 3 volcanoes together. Next. Now I could have good day, folks. I could have gone on until midnight, showing you a lot more. And again, people see these snow-covered mountains, and they think it's all so pretty. I have no clue that many of these mountains are all volcanoes. Some are still, a lot are still considered active. A lot of last year's summer fires started around some of these volcanoes. There was no directed energy weapons firing on these 5 volcanoes. There were no invading armies of terrorists setting fires. Anyway. So I did this to show you the truth. I don't give you fear porn flood maps for profit, showing you entire continents all covered in ocean's waters. Because he said he wouldn't do that again. He said he's going to do it by fire and brimstone and vapors of smoke from the earth below. So when you're considering a safe location, consider your existing location and you're thinking about where you're going to move. Yes, you need to get away from the coasts, but you need to do your own research, and it's easy to do on the volcanic areas. And as far as I'm concerned, the entire province of British Columbia, get out. This is what you need to consider. Because the rising heat, the rising magma is going to happen first before anything else. And that's what's going to affect you. Period. Choose wisely who you're going to listen to. Look at the own area around you and under your feet. And what I've been showing you on a daily basis. The rising heat. Anyway. Choose wisely. Pay attention to your own neighborhood. Especially this summer, especially Canada. And especially British Columbia. Anyway, I just wanted to show you a few. Some with very recent volcanic history. Some calderas still considered active. Some, quite a few, still showing some magmatic seismic activity below and around them. That's it for now.